Hiya, folks. I got asked about universal oneness the other day. And years ago, when I was still living in Japan, I wrote a song that at the time I was pretty proud of, and I still think it was good, but maybe we'll go there later. Anyway, the opening words were, "Every time I hear the phrase, all is one, I think of all the people I don't want to be one with, like you." And that was my take on the whole universal oneness thing. It was inspired partly by this guy, Chris Bell, who wrote a song called I Am the Cosmos, which goes, "Every night I tell myself, I am the cosmos, I am the wind, but that don't get you back again." It's a great song. Go look for it. My song was a somewhat different take on the same idea, and it's one that I'd thought about a lot in terms of my Zen practice, because if you look into the Buddhist philosophy, it's all full of ideas of universal oneness. Even Dogen talks about this, even though he's the sort of down-to-earth guy. He gets a little spooky and weird occasionally and talks about how we are one with everything. You know, like the hot dog vendor joke that everybody keeps sending me. If you haven't heard it, look it up. The fact is, if we are one with everything, then we are one with the things we despise as well. So everybody loves the "I'm one with the flowers and the trees and the grass and the bees and the cosmos and the rings of Saturn and all of that wonderful, beautiful stuff. But they don't like that they're also one with, and let's take everybody's most hated politician, Donald Trump. And if you're not a Trump hater, if you're a Trump supporter, maybe you can substitute Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders or somebody in there for it. So you Trump supporters are one with Hillary, you know, and you Hillary supporters or you know, people who hate Trump, you're one with Trump. Your connection with Trump is very, very deep and very powerful and very real. He is something you have created, and that's an important thing to own, I think. Because if you are stuck with this idea of oneness as being something that excludes the things you dislike, then you haven't understood oneness very well. The oneness includes even that which you despise. What to do about that is a whole other matter. So maybe I can try giving a little story of my life story and see where we go with that. When I worked at Tsuburaya Productions, I had two bosses. One of them was Kyotaku Ugawa, Jimmy Ugawa, as he liked to call himself, and he was a very old guy. He's since passed on, sadly. And the other guy was Atsushi Saito, and Atsushi Saito was about a year younger than me, but he was higher up in the company. He'd been hired first, and he was my boss. I got along more or less with Ugawa-san, but really had a hard time with Saito-san. And I hope if he's watching these videos, I don't know if he pays any attention to what I do these days, but I hope he understands that what I'm saying is not how I feel about him today. But when I worked with him, I had a lot of disagreements with the guy. I thought his approach to matters in the company was completely wrong, and I thought he was stifling a lot of the things that we could do much more efficiently and much better. And I always felt like I'm at odds with this dude. One time I went on a retreat. The retreats that Nishijima Roshi had were typically happened on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I would have to take a Monday off work in order to attend these retreats. So I had attended this retreat in Shizuoka and been very zen-y for a weekend. And on Tuesday, I was back at work. And I walked into the room, and Saito-san was already there. He never came early. I kind of think this is a weird coincidence that this must have been one of the very few days that he was there before me. And I just saw him, and I went, oh. Maybe I didn't make exactly that expression, but it was precisely like looking in a mirror. And when I say that, I'm not speaking metaphorically. I mean, obviously I didn't see my, Caucasian white guy face in the face of this Japanese guy, but the experience was like, bang, mirror. And I noticed at once that I am looking at myself, that what I am seeing in this adversary is me. And it just changed my entire attitude towards him, and through osmosis or something. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but it subsequently sort of this filtered out into other things, and I started to see everybody who was my enemy as this is a reflection. This is a reflection I'm looking at, and I might not like the reflection, but if I want that reflection to look better, I don't punch the mirror. I, shave. If I want my reflection to look better, I fix my hair or adjust my glasses or something. And this is what I tried to do as my practice with people that I disliked and with situations that I found myself in that I did not want to be in. Rather than trying to metaphorically punch the mirror, I tried to work on myself instead. And this is the advice I give to you for whatever it's worth, is if you're facing an opposition, an enemy that you want to change, the way to change your enemy is to change yourself. And I really feel like, especially in the current political climate we find ourselves in the United States and apparently in Great Britain too, I think one of the things we are failing to do is to look at it like that and say that if my reflection is the problem, what do I do? Do I insult my reflection and say, you look ugly? Or do I try to fix myself, to make myself better, and so that when it comes time to interact with that other, that enemy, that my interaction with that person is a better interaction. So that's a short piece from me. Donation buttons for PayPal and Patreon are below, which is how I make my living. I really appreciate that. I noticed that the video I put up previously, which was very long, actually got some views. So I'm going to see if I can do more long-form videos like that in the future. Unfortunately, this isn't one of them. But we'll see about doing that, since some of you people seem to like it. And I really thank you for your support and for all that you do for me, and it's wonderful. Really like it. Check out I Am the Cosmos by Chris Bell. Maybe one of these days I'll put my All Is One song up on the internet for you to enjoy too. But until then, see you later. Have a good day.